everyone, welcome back. If you're new, my name is Blair and today we are decluttering my concealers. I posted my first declutter video a few weeks ago of decluttering my foundations, and I said in that video I wanted to do my concealers as well. That's what I'm doing today. We're starting out with 62 concealers. Yes, 62. We'll see how far we get and how many I end up decluttering. If you're interested in watching my concealer declutter, keep watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Make sure to subscribe and go follow me on Instagram at simply.blair. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here we go. As promised, I am decluttering my concealers. I have 62 concealers. Yes, 62. So I have even more concealers than I had foundations. I didn't know the exact number until I counted, but I'm not really surprised. I am definitely a concealer addict. I'm definitely addicted. Something about concealer just makes me really happy. I love to try them. I'm obsessed. So here I am, I have 62 and some of these need to go. So let's get started. Okay, first let's start with an easy one. This is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Concealer. I actually have two of these. Let's see. There it is. I have two of these. I have, 45 warm and 40 neutral. You can see this one is a lot more yellow toned. This one is a lot more neutral, almost a little bit pinky. I love this concealer. This is a great everyday, pretty good coverage concealer. I'd say it's more of a medium coverage. It does have the hyaluronic acid, like the Pretty Fresh tinted moisturizer, so it is very moisturizing. It's not drying at all. I love these and they're so affordable. You can actually get these at Ulta now, which is really nice. And while I have these two, I'm gonna grab these two. This is the original Colourpop, what is this called? Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I also have two of these. I am not a fan of this concealer. This is very drying and really just does not look good on me at all. This concealer accentuates any line that I have, and I don't have a ton of lines. I'm only 27, so I don't have a ton, but this just does not sit well under my eyes. I definitely will be keeping these, the Pretty Fresh from Colourpop, and getting rid of the No Filters. This is the Maybelline Conceal and Perfect Concealer. This one I actually really like. I did a full face of Milani makeup a week or two ago, and I used this in that video. I said in the video it had been a while since I used this concealer, and I thought that I didn't like it, but actually I did like it. After I used it in that video, I realized I did like how this looked. This is a very full coverage concealer. It's kind of in between a matte and more of a luminous finish. It's kind of just a natural finish concealer, but it is really nice. I like the way my makeup looked when I used it. And this concealer comes in a really great shade range as well, but I do like this one and we'll be keeping that one. The IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. This I actually got at TJ Maxx. I guess it was a few months ago, and I do not like this. First of all, I need to stop buying concealers that you squeeze out. For whatever reason, I never use concealers that don't have a doe foot applicator. I don't know why, but I'm much more likely to use the doe foot or like a pot concealer, but these that you squeeze out, I never use. This is a very, very thick concealer. And I like thicker concealers because I need a lot of coverage, but this is too thick for me. This is kind of like putting the IT Cosmetics CC cream up under your eyes, in my opinion, and that's just not really my favorite, so I am going to be decluttering this one. Moving on, this is the Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer. This is a relatively new concealer to my collection. I really like this. This reminds me of a high-end concealer favorite that I'll get to in a minute. I actually think this is a dupe for this particular high-end concealer. I've done a whole video on it actually. This is a really nice one. It gives great coverage, and I do prefer the Infinite over the original Conceal and Defines from Revolution. So this is the original Conceal and Define concealers that were really popular on YouTube a few years ago. This is a newer version. I definitely prefer the new Infinite version over the original. The Infinite version is not as drying as the original Conceal and Define, and it also has niacinamide in it, which I really like, and you get a good bit of product in here. You get 0.3 ounces in the Infinite, and you get 0.14 in the original Conceal and Define. So I will be keeping the Infinite and getting rid of my 2 Conceal and Defines. Okay, we'll do this one. This is another Revolution concealer. This is the concealer that came out with the Conceal and Hydrate foundation, which I did keep when I did my foundation declutter, and I'm going to keep this one as well. I like the finish of this. It's very, very lightweight. It's not as thick as the Infinite one I was talking about a minute ago, and I do like it with that Conceal and Hydrate foundation, so I will be keeping this one. The Covergirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. Again, I have 2. I love these. This concealer, I believe, actually won the Allure Beauty Award this year for under eye concealer, and I can definitely see why. These are so good. They give great coverage. I don't notice a significant amount of creasing, and they're not drying. This is another concealer that I can actually wear without even setting it, and it looks better actually with no powder. This I really, really love, so I will definitely be keeping both of these. Moving on to another favorite. Okay, I'm sure you can see this is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. I love this one so much that I have 4 shades, and you can see I have used a ton of all of them. I cannot get enough of this concealer. If I had to choose one drugstore concealer and I could only choose one, I'm about to make a really big claim, but this one would be my choice. It's $5.99, so it's $6. It is so, so, so good. I love everything about it. They have a great shade range. In fact, they just extended this shade range, I think. So they have even more colors of this now. If you watch my videos back when I first started my YouTube channel, I used this concealer in pretty much every video because I am obsessed with it. When I run out, which I'm getting to the bottom here of these, we'll definitely repurchase these. This is a concealer I will always have in my collection. You can buy this at Ulta. $5.99, so, so good. Moving on, I have 3 of the Maybelline Age Rewinds. These 2 are really old. You can tell this is in the older packaging. This is the newer packaging. I will always have this concealer in my collection. It's so easy, lightweight, comes in pretty good shade range, and I love it. Gonna get rid of these 2 and keep my newer shade. This one is the shade Light, and I believe this one was the shade Fair, which I prefer light for myself now. And then this was Neutralizer. This is the more yellow toned one, so you can use it for neutralizing redness on your face, or if you have a pimple or something that's red, you can use this Neutralizer shade to kind of tone down the redness. But love this one, so, so good. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. So I used this a few videos back in a full face of Wet n Wild, and I liked it in the video, but I went and used it again a day or 2 later, and I noticed that whenever I put this under my eyes, it's kind of burned. Like, not to the point where I was in like agonizing pain or anything, but it did not feel good. It did not feel normal. So I am going to be decluttering this. It did look nice on my under eyes, but I guess there's an ingredient in here that did not agree with my skin. So I will be decluttering this one. These two. These are very similar concealers. So we have the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer, and we have the Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer. I've done videos on both of these. I did a Neutrogena video and an Age Perfect video. And I must say, I like both of these. They're very similar. They're very, very lightweight, not a lot of coverage, and both come in a pretty decent shade range. I will say the Neutrogena one I like a little bit better than the Age Perfect. I like Neutrogena for under my eyes. I like Age Perfect for any spots on your face that you're trying to lightly cover or lightly correct. I like both. If I had to choose one, I would choose Neutrogena, but I do like Age Perfect, and I did keep my Age Perfect foundation, so I am going to keep both of these. I would recommend it, especially for more mature skin. I think both of these would be really good options. We emptied our first little section. Okay, this is the, let's see, LA Girl Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer. There's nothing wrong with this concealer, but I never reach for it. It's pretty thick and high coverage, and it's just not something that I gravitate towards. There's not a particular reason, really. I just never reach for it. I never even think about it at all. So I am going to be getting rid of this one. I know these LA Girl concealers were super, super popular here on YouTube a few years ago. And I don't hate it, but I definitely don't love it. So I will be decluttering this one. Who remembers when this concealer was all over YouTube? It was in every single YouTube video. I remember when this came out and literally everybody used this. Everyone. I've had this forever. Honestly, it's never been my favorite. I do like the corrector version of this that I'm sure you guys have seen in some of my videos, but this particular concealer has never really spoken to me. I don't know. So I will be getting rid of this one. You can't even buy this concealer anymore. They've come out with the new version of the Naked Skin concealer, and I don't own that one. So I will be decluttering this one. This one is the Believe Beauty concealer. So I got this for my Believe Beauty video a few months ago. This one is the shade Fair. I'm on the fence with this one. I didn't hate it, but I definitely did not love it. I haven't reached for it since I filmed that video. So I don't know if I have used this enough times to say I don't like it. So I think I'm going to put this over to the side in the maybe pile, and we'll revisit that at the end. Another cult favorite concealer, the Maybelline Fit Me. This is supposed to be a dupe for the NARS, where is it? The NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. And I will say, I will be decluttering the NARS. I cannot get on board with this concealer, and I know there's so many people out there that this is their holy grail and they think it is the best thing ever. I'm going to get rid of all three of these. I'm just not a huge fan. In fact, I will say if I had to choose between NARS and the Maybelline Fit Me, I would choose the Maybelline. So I will be decluttering these. I like the Age Rewind a lot better than the Fit Me, just me personally. And the NARS concealer, I want to love this so bad because so many people love this, but maybe it's just me. I don't understand how it's called the Radiant Creamy Concealer because I would not describe this as radiant or creamy. It's not creamy at all to me. It's very drying and it's not radiant. It's a very matte concealer on me. I don't know. I guess it just doesn't work for my skin type. I don't know. And this color is way too yellow for me too, so I will be getting rid of this one. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again down the road, but every time I've tried it, I can't get this to work. Next, we have this from Covergirl. It's the True Blend It's Lit Concealer Pen. This they don't even make anymore. I got this, I want to say on clearance at Marshall's one time for like $2. This is not really a concealer in my opinion. It's more of just a brightener for under your eyes, which that typically does not work for me. I need something with more coverage, and I wouldn't use this in a video because no one can even buy this anymore. So I will be decluttering this. Maybe look for it at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. If you like something super lightweight, you might like this, but this is not my favorite. I will be decluttering this one. Next, the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. So this one is also hard for me. I know a lot of people love this and compare it to Shape Tape. I prefer Shape Tape over this one. I don't know why, but I've never been that impressed with this. It's very drying, and I would compare it to the Covergirl True Blend, but this one is much less drying. It gives the same amount of coverage, and the Covergirl just overall looks better under my eyes. So I would definitely choose Covergirl over this L'Oreal one. I love the Infallible Fresh Wear from L'Oreal, the foundation, but I don't know. I just cannot get on board with this concealer, so I do think I will be decluttering this one. Next, we have the infamous Tarte Shape Tape. I actually just purchased a new one of these during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. I had gotten rid of my Shape Tape a few months ago because I'd had it forever and it was just starting to get really gross and old. And one thing that was happening with that one that annoys me about Shape Tape is it does get super messy on the outside edges here. That's one thing I definitely don't like about this concealer, but this is a cult favorite and I'll always have a Tarte Shape Tape in my collection. I do like it, not for every day, but for the right occasion and a more full coverage, full-on glam makeup look, you really can't go wrong with this one. Okay, I'm about to shock some people, I'm sure. This is the Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer that the internet went crazy for when it came out. First, I'll say I do love this packaging. It's very Jeffree Star, and I love how different it is from everything else. But I don't like this concealer. I never use it. It is so dry on me. And I also got a shade that's way too light. This is the shade C5, and there's 4 shades lighter than this, so I thought this would be an okay shade for me, but it is super, super light. And I just never reach for it. Never reach for this. So I will be decluttering it, although this one does kind of pain me because it is kind of pricey and I do really love the packaging, but I don't use it. So I'm not going to keep it, but never could make this one work for me. Next, we have the Revlon Candid Concealer. This is not my favorite either. It's okay. I know a lot of people love this one. It's not horrible, but it's definitely not anything that I would pick over some of my other favorites that I've kept over there. So I will be decluttering this. It's not bad. I would say it's a light to a light medium coverage, and I don't know. I love the Revlon Candid Glow foundation, but not crazy about the concealer. I've never tried the original Revlon Candid foundation, but I do love the Candid Glow. This one, however, I will be decluttering. I don't know, just not a huge fan. We've emptied 2. These over here are correctors, so I'm not going to do correctors today. I'm not including them in this concealer count because those are different, so we're going to move on to this one. Okay. I have 2 of the Too Faced Born This Way concealers. I really love these. One of the things I love most about this is the packaging, honestly. I just love how big and thick they are. And I do really like this. I think it's really nice. It gives good coverage. It's not as drying as Tarte Shape Tape can be, but it gives the same amount of coverage. So I will be keeping both of these. Ooh, okay. I got this concealer in New York a few weeks ago. This is the Jouer, let's see, Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. This is very, very good. I love this one actually. In fact, I think this might be one of my new favorite concealers. It does have hyaluronic acid in it. It is the perfect mix of being creamy and moisturizing, but setting down and not needing to be set with powder. It's so good. This is the shade Wheat. It's a really good light color with a neutral undertone, and I will definitely be keeping this one. I've really been enjoying it since I got it and really, really impressed. So would highly recommend this one if you like higher coverage, but you want something that's not super drying under your eyes. This is a really good one. Next, we have the Glossier Stretch Concealer. This one I got in New York a few weeks ago, and I really like this actually. I like this under the eyes, but I also really like this for spot concealing on your face. This is a very interesting formula. Usually pot concealers like this are more of a dry kind of formula, but this one is very, very creamy. Really like this. I'm still kind of experimenting with it to figure out the best way to use it and kind of experimenting with using a brush or using my finger, but I have been enjoying this one and I will be keeping this one. Next we have the Bareminerals Bare Pro Stick Concealers. These I do not use under my eyes because for me, stick concealers like this are just too drying. They never work for me for under the eyes, but this is my favorite concealer if I have a blemish on my face that I'm trying to cover. This does a really great job of it. You can just basically dot it on your face, or you can take it on your finger and dot it on your face and then kind of blend it in with your finger, and it gives really great coverage. Again, I don't like it for under the eyes, but I do like to have a concealer like this for, you know those days when you wake up and you have a zit or something that you'd like to try to cover up. This is a really good one for that. Here we have the Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealer. This came out 2019. This is relatively new and I like these. I don't reach for them all the time, mainly because they're pretty full coverage, and on the daily I don't use full coverage under my eyes, but I do like them, especially with the Double Wear foundation. These wear really nice with that one, so I will be keeping these. Now we have the Kylie Cosmetics concealers. Again, I have two. If you notice, I have two of a lot of concealers. I almost always will buy two of them, mainly because I never find a shade of concealer that is perfect, or I won't say never, but I usually don't find a shade that's perfect by itself, so I mix them. Anyway, so that's why I have two of a lot of these. I do like this concealer. I don't reach for it often. It's not that I don't like it. It usually kind of gets hidden in my concealer drawer. I would like to bring these out more and maybe put them in my everyday makeup drawer so I would use them more, but the times I have used these, I do really like them, so I will be keeping these. Ooh, okay. So I've said in multiple videos, I love this concealer. Love, love, love it. I use it all the time. I love everything about this. This color is perfect for me. I wear 1.5 neutral. I love how nice and heavy this packaging is. It has a really big doe foot applicator. I love, love, love this so much. And I will also say, I did a whole video on this, but this Infinite Concealer from Revolution, in my opinion, is a very, very close dupe for this Dior concealer. I'll link that video for you if you haven't seen it, but I love both of these and will definitely be keeping them. Like I said earlier, I don't typically use concealers like this that you have to squeeze out, but this one I will be keeping. This is the Clarins Instant Concealer. This nobody talks about, and I'm not sure why, The only thing about it that's not the best is I think it only comes in like 4 different shades, but this concealer is so pretty. And this particular color, number 1, matches my skin tone perfectly. So I never use this concealer though, and I don't know why, because it is so pretty. It is a perfect color. The formula is really nice. It's not thick. It's not dry. You don't have to set it. It looks nice with no powder. I really like this one. I'm not sure why no one ever talks about this. No one really ever talks about Clarins in general, but definitely will be keeping this one. Really, really like it. This one is the new Zoeva Authentic Skin Perfector Retouch Concealer. I just got this. I ordered this from Ulta a few days ago. I haven't tried this one yet. I might actually do a whole video dedicated to this concealer. This is, I guess, the concealer that goes with their Authentic Skin foundation. I haven't tried much from Zoeva at all, so I'm excited to try this one. Let me know if you'd want to see a dedicated video to this concealer. It gets pretty good reviews so far online, so I am very curious about it. Let me know if you want to see a video on this one. Moving on to Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away. This, absolutely love. Hate the packaging though. I'm sure if you've ever used this concealer, you know what I mean. First of all, it's very hard to open. You have to like yank it to open it, and it gets so messy. Like, look, you can see it's like seeping out of the top. It gets so messy on the sides, but it's such a pretty concealer. So I will, of course, be keeping these. I love them. They're very expensive too. I just wish they would redo the packaging and put it in just a normal tube with a doe foot applicator. I would 10 out of 10 use this all the time if they repackaged it. Still going to be keeping it though. You guys know me. I love Charlotte Tilbury so, so much. Ooh, I love this one too. This is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer. Oh, now this is a really nice concealer. It is super, super liquidy, and it's just the definition of a good concealer. It looks so nice and natural. I love this. This is one of those that I don't use it that much because it's expensive and I really love it. Like I was saying in another video I just filmed, I tend to hoard makeup items that I really, really love if they're more expensive, just because I don't want to use them up or I don't want to mess them up. I know it's crazy, but needless to say, I love this concealer. I will be keeping it. I'm dying to try the new Luminous Silk Concealer that came out. I think you can only get it on Giorgio Armani's website right now. I was waiting for it to come to Sephora so I could use my points on it, but definitely will be picking that one up when I can get my hands on it. I really, really love this one. So this one is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion. Again, the consistency of this actually kind of reminds me of that Giorgio Armani concealer. They're very, very similar. In fact, sometimes I mix these two together and this is a really good combo. This one is a little more yellow. This one is more neutral. So together, oh, these are so, so good. We'll definitely be keeping this one. This is a great concealer. I would say this would be good for pretty much anybody. It's just really nice. It's very thin, but it gives great coverage. It's not drying. I don't really notice a ton of creasing with this one either. And you really don't need to set this either. So definitely love this. Would highly recommend the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion. One more in this little container. This is the Bobbi Brown Instant Full Cover Concealer. Love this, but this is very, very thick. It's very, very thick. So you do, I would say, definitely need to use this with a damp beauty blender so that you pick up a little bit of that product so it's not so thick. But for the right occasion, I do like this concealer. The shade match is perfect for me too. It's Warm Ivory. Love this one. I don't use it every day, but I do really like it. It does look nice also with the Bobbi Brown Stick Foundation, so I will be keeping this one. Okay, we're getting near the end. Next, we have the Bareminerals, let's see, Correcting Concealer with SPF 20. Fun fact about this one is when I first started wearing makeup, I wore original Bareminerals, and this was kind of the first concealer I ever played around with. And I used to use it a lot. I never use it now, and I would definitely choose the Bare Pro Stick Concealer over this one. So I will be decluttering the Pot Concealer and keeping the Bare Pro. Maybelline Superstay. Again, this one's not my favorite. It's not horrible, but I just don't love it. I just don't love it. If I'm going to choose a Maybelline concealer, I'm going to choose the Age Rewind every time. I tried this quite a few times, actually. I have the shade Fair, and it's okay, but not great, and I know I'm not going to reach for it, so I will be decluttering this one. We have the Ulta Youthful Glow Concealer with hyaluronic acid. So I had high hopes for this concealer, but this concealer creases very badly on me, and like to the point where it's noticeable creasing under your eyes. It's not just slight creasing, it's pretty noticeable. So I will be decluttering this. I don't hate this concealer, but it's just not my favorite. I never reach for it. I kind of forgot I had it, to be honest, so I am going to go ahead and declutter this one. NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. This is another one. Honestly, I don't even remember buying this. I should probably try this again because this one I really don't remember anything about it, but I also have no idea how old it is. I didn't even realize it was in my drawer. So for now, I'm going to put this over to the side, but I probably will end up decluttering that one. Almost finished. Next, we have the number 7 Lift and Illuminate concealers. A few weeks ago, I probably would have said I would declutter these, but I used this concealer in the video I did recently using makeup that I never use, and this was the concealer I used in that video, and I actually really did like it. I do have fair and light in this one. This is a very interesting consistency. It's pretty lightweight, but it is on the thicker side. It gives pretty decent coverage. So I will be keeping these. I want to play around with these a little bit more. I don't use these often, like I said before. So I might pull these into my everyday makeup container and see if I can get some more use out of these. But for now, I am going to hold on to these. Next, we have the e.l.f. Camo Concealer and the new e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I did a whole video comparing these two as well, and these I'm on the fence about. I was never super crazy about the original Camo Concealer, and I liked the hydrating version better, but I wasn't obsessed with it. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something with these because so many people love them, and I've seen so many good reviews of the new hydrating version. But I just don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to put these over to the side. Last but not least, we have Bareminerals Bare Skin Serum Concealers. These I am also so torn about. If you watch the Pixie Woos here on YouTube, Sam and Nick Chapman, they are obsessed with these concealers. And every time they use them in a video, they look so good on them. I want to keep these just to play around with them some more because I really wish my makeup turned out like theirs. Their makeup is just so beautiful. If you love makeup tutorials, you should go follow the Pixie Woos if you don't already. They are phenomenal. Their makeup always looks fantastic, but I am going to hold on to these. I'm still holding out hope. When I've used this in the past, it has creased pretty badly on me, but I don't know. I'm wanting to play around with these a little bit more, so I am going to hold on to these for now. Let's revisit these last 4. I need to make a call. So I am going to go ahead and declutter this Believe Beauty one, I think. I just know that I'm not going to reach for this over all of those other concealers that I kept. And if I'm on the fence, then I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter it. Last but not least, we have the e.l.f. Camo Concealers and NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter the NYX. I don't have a strong desire to play around with this anymore, and I don't know. I just don't know about this. I don't think I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping the ones that I know that I like or that I have a very strong desire to play around with some more, and I don't really have that with this one. So I am gonna declutter that one. I don't think I'm ready to give up on these e.l.f. ones yet. I really want to play with these some more, and I don't know. I'm not ready to give up on these yet, so I'm going to keep these for now. We are finished. So let me go ahead and count how many I am decluttering. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I'm decluttering. I think that is pretty good. I'm very happy with that number. 62. I'm getting rid of 22. So I'm keeping 40. That's a lot better than 62. I'm okay with that number. I would like to get it down a little bit more. Maybe when I play around with these a little bit more, I can declutter a few more of them. But for now, I am happy with this. So that is it for today's video. So I decluttered 22, so I'm now down to 40 from 62. I'm really happy with that number. I know 62 is a lot of concealers, but what can I say? I have a concealer addiction. I love them. Trying new ones makes me so happy. So I'm constantly trying them. I hope you guys liked the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Wednesday and Friday. One last thing, make sure to go follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.